Hey everyone, what's going on? It's Rob from ProWresBlog here, www.prowresblog.blogspot.com. Hey, today I'm reviewing All Japan Women's ATHENA TV number 37, the Japan Grand Prix 2001 from August 17th, 2001. Yeah, I saw the Momoe Nakanishi versus Kumiko Maekawa match the other day on YouTube, and I was like, you know what, I do have the show, so I said I might as well finish it up and review the rest. So I decided to do that. The Japan Grand Prix is All Japan Women's yearly tournament. You know, they pretty much have everyone go like G1 style climax, and you know whoever gets the most points at the end of it wins it. So that's what we got going on here. To start the show, we had a performance from Kiss no Sekai. It's Kiss of the World, and it's Momoe Nakanishi, Nanae Takahashi, Kaionumi, and there's someone else. Believe it or not, I don't know who the other person is. I don't even think I've seen them before. So yeah, I don't know. That's a big fail on my part. But they kind of sang their song, and their group wasn't really good. It was All Japan Women's attempt to get some of the popularity back and get some of the old fans they got with singing groups, and I don't think it really worked out. And no offense, but these girls are wrestlers, not singers. So yeah, the first match of the night was a Japan Grand Prix match, as pretty much all the matches are in the show. It was Kumiko Maekawa versus Miyuki Fuji. This wasn't very good at all. This was just total squash, and really Maekawa was out there to kind of embarrass her opponent, which sucked. Yeah, she just laughed at her. She didn't sell stuff for most of the match, and you know, it was hard to really buy into it. It was just like, when is this gonna end? You know, Fuji got really stiffed here, and it was pretty much a waste of time. It should have been about 2-3 minutes long tops, and it would have been much better. Maekawa was also slapping and beating up the ref, to, of course, no disqualification whatsoever. Gotta love Old Japan Women's rules. The next match was Tomoko Watanabe versus Nanae Takahashi. This match wasn't bad. Nanae was still kind of in progress here, and you know, still in development, so she wasn't as good as she would be later on. But this was fun. It was kind of a match with two of the bigger girls, so to speak, or the heavier girls, I guess. And yeah, I mean, you know, they did some brawling, and you know, they did some pretty hard moves on each other. We got a decent Nanae dive, and um, each girl will probably smack their head off the ground 3-4 times. So I'm pretty sure someone ended this one with a concussion. But yeah, that's stiffness for you. There was one pretty cool spot that I liked. Nanae did like a backsplash, and Tomoko caught her with feet right to the back of the head, which looks like it really sucked. Tomoko got a backdrop pretty hard a couple of times, and she nuked Nanae with like a backdrop into a sit-out driver. And Nanae ended up getting the win here somehow. She reversed the sit-out driver, and she picked up the pin. Yeah, I mean, you know, it was good. Nanae was fine here, and she was obviously getting better. And you know, I think she could have showed more, but it was better. You know, it wasn't bad at all. After the match, Nanae wouldn't shake hands with Tomoko, or excuse me, Tomoko wouldn't shake hands with Nanae, and then Nanae held the rope for her, and they walked out together. So I don't know, make make out what you will for that one, because I didn't really get it. The next matchup was Momoe Nakanishi versus Mima Shimoda. A lot of stuff going on in this one. Right in the beginning, Mima Shimoda hit like a full head-on face drop kick, and it looked really nasty. I mean, we're talking just like all of it went right into her face. I would not want to be on the outside end of that. And they brawled, and Momoe did a really cool flip off the stage, which was neat. I like that, and you know, they did the usual stuff you'd expect. Momoe hit some really great drop kicks in this, and not only they were good, but Mima sold him really well. She like flipped over, and it kind of added to the extra effect of it, and looked even worse than it was. Um, yeah, Mima got dropped on her head multiple times here on suplexes, and because she's so lanky and Momoe's so short, they look kind of interesting. Yeah, Momoe took a pile driver on a table here, and she even got busted open, which was neat. She also took a pretty nasty tiger suplex right off the top rope that they call the Death Lake Bomb, I believe. And that wasn't enough to pin her. Near the end, Mima went for some mist, and Momoe missed it, and she hit a German suplex and got the victory. Momoe got the win here at 10:27. It was good at times, but the 10:27 really felt like 20:27, as a lot of this show did. Um, I couldn't really buy Momoe winning this one because she really did take a whooping, and she didn't get that much in, unfortunately, and which is a shame because she, once you see later what happens in the show, it didn't. It probably would have helped her out, but you know what it is. There wasn't anything wrong with it. I mean, it was good, but it just could have been better. It could have been shorter, and I think Momoe should have got a lot more in. I also did like Momoe busting out the blade here, and that worked out pretty well. We then went into Yumiko Hotta versus Etsuko Mita. They really worked on Mita's knee early because she was wearing the brace, and it just seemed perpetually injured. And I mean, that was cool, but they didn't really follow it up, and they just kind of said heck with it and went to the normal match. Mima hit an electric chair drop on Hotta, which was cool, and she took she took, I think, a pyramid driver right onto a ladder, which really didn't look nice at all. That ladder just totally didn't give, and I'm sure that wasn't a fun one. She hit a couple of Death Valley bombs, and she took a nasty straight jacket suplex right on her head. But Mita always took like really good power bombs, so yeah, excuse me there. And yeah, Hotta worked the arm a little bit after a Mita Death Valley driver, which I liked. She totally surprises out of nowhere and cracked the armbar, which was sweet. I did like that part. And then she dropped her off the top rope with like a straight jacket suplex, which didn't look very fun. And then she finished her off with two pyramid drivers to get the win. So Yumiko Hotta beat Etsuko Mita here with the two pyramid drivers. Mita was really good here. I liked her. She sold well. She had good facials, and she was good. But Hotta, not really one of her finest moments. She just really didn't seem to want to be there. She didn't show much emotion, and it just didn't work. It's kind of typical Hotta in a way. If Hotta sold, she's really good, but when she doesn't sell, she's really annoying. But that's kind of the trouble you face when you push someone as like, this really one of the stronger members of the roster, and that's what they got here. The crowd wasn't super into it, and it did really drag because, we kind of saw where it was going, and I hated that, they didn't focus at all on Mita's knee near the end, and they just kind of went for the usual stuff. So, what are you gonna do? We had Hotta getting into it with Shimoda and Mita, and she slapped both of them, and she stared them down. We then went to the last one I'm going to review on here, which was Manami Toyota versus Kaoru Ito. It started off really good. Ito was all bandaged up like the mummy on her legs and arms, and Toyota went like MMA style on her, and she mounted her and started punching the injured arm, which I loved. I thought that was so cool. But then they kind of just like lost it. Ito planted Toyota hard with like a rock bottom right on her head, and then they started going into submission work. I love submissions. I mean, you guys know that because I do the rings and UWFI and all that stuff. But I don't like submissions when they're not sold and they're not worked on. I think it's like and then it just becomes a waste of time because it doesn't mean anything. And that's what ended up happening here. They worked like figure fours and they worked Indian deathlocks and all that, but it ended up meaning nothing and going absolutely nowhere. Because once they finished it, Toyota started making her comeback, and you could forget about that. They kind of went into the big move segment after this, after some brawling, which I kind of lost. My tape went out through like the middle portion of this, so I lost about 3 minutes, and I don't think I missed much. They were brawling in the stands, and they didn't do anything. And then they came back, and they just started firing off the big moves. Ito took a German right on her head on the floor. She hit a Super Samoan drop on Toyota, and then Toyota got some in. She did a flipping dive, and she landed right on her butt off the top rope, and that seriously had to hurt. There's no way that ended well. And then she started moonsaulting on Ito. And after that, she started signaling for the end of it. But Ito made a comeback, and she hit like 3 or 4 top rope foot stomps. And she probably didn't need to do it, but Ito loves the foot stomps. You just kind of have to accept with her matches that she's going to hit like 6 or 7 foot stomps. And, I mean, the good thing is they do look like they hurt, but it does get a little bit old, and it kind of did here. The crowd was really into her, though, but they didn't give her the win here. as Toyota, right after the multiple foot stomps, came in, and she hit a really cool Queen Bee bomb, and it looked pretty stiff and right on her head. So that was the finish there, and she was into the win, and the crowd was liking it. But yeah, Ito was the star here. She looked really good. The crowd loved her, and she sold really well, and she did everything you're supposed to do. But the problem is, she can't. She can sell all she wants, but she can't make Toyota attack her and do the stuff that she should be doing, and that was where it went. And I'm not really ripping Toyota here because she's really cool and I do like her, but just should have maybe planned this one out a little bit better. And yeah, so Toyota got the win here. I gave this one 3.5. I think it could have been like 4 or more real easily, but they just had to give up on working the holds. So I don't know why they even bothered with them if they weren't going to sell them at all. So what are you going to do? And the last match of the night after this was Momoe Nakanishi versus Kumiko Maekawa. I already reviewed this one. I gave it like four stars or 4.25 or something like that. It was really really good. Just a lot of stiffness, a lot of really just frenzy action, and I think you'll really love that. It was easily the match of the show, but I didn't want to have to review it again because that would be kind of stupid. So I totally recommend checking that one out if you don't check out anything else because that was an instant classic and that was really good Joshi wrestling. We ended the show with Momoe posing with her trophy win for the Japan Grand Prix, and we got Kiss No Sakai shilling stuff. Yeah, and we had some locker room interviews, and that was pretty much it. So overall, I mean, the show was good. It could have been great, but there was just too many issues going on here. All the matches seem to follow the same theme of let's do submissions, and then let's not sell any of them, and then let's do some bad brawling, and then we'll do our big move finish. So I mean, it was good, but it could have been a lot better. The main event was really good, and I didn't have any problems with that. But I don't know. The crowd wasn't fully there all day, and they made matches seem a lot longer than they actually were. And a lot of the matches felt longer than they were because of the non-selling. So that's all I could say. It's kind of disappointing, even though even though there were a few rated matches that I put up. So what are you gonna do? All right, guys. Thanks for sticking in here with me, and thanks for checking this out. This is raw. If you want to see this one with pictures and gifs, check out www.ProWresBlog.blogspot.com. And this is Rob signing out. Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.